Happy New Year from Pacific Ashtanga Yoga Shala. This week, instead of continuing our studies of the kosas, we did our New Year's puja here at the Shala, and I encouraged everyone to set some intention for the new year and gave you a little bit from our workshop on Sankalpa. So that'll be our teaching for this week as well for all of you that follow us on our YouTube channel. The word Sankalpa is not an exact translation in English, but it means something like to set your intentions and make a commitment or a vow. So for New Year's, I asked all of you to set some Sankalpa for your lives to bring some intention into what you want for yourself for 2016. And for me, as you guys know that have been practicing here at the Shala for a while, I love this so much. We do it 3 times a year. We do the Indian New Year, Diwali, we do the Western New Year on the 1st, and then we have one more to go, which is the Chinese New Year in February. And I do that because I just feel like it's really important in our busy lives to stop for reflection. So for me, it's like I get in the routine of what I do every day, and I get in the momentum of survival and making things happen. And sometimes in that we miss sight on where we're going and what we're doing. And so I believe for all of us, for myself at least, I consider reflection a practice. And I do it in a small way when I do my daily meditation. I definitely do it when I do my yoga practice. But I think bigger practices of intention and reflection are really important for our growth. So I ask all of you this time of year to stop your busy lives, as Iyengar described in the book we're studying, to still the waters of your lake, and to spend some time looking down through the depth of the lake and seeing down through the bottom and seeing the reflection of all the beauty around it, and just kind of having a little bit of time of reflection on 2015. What happened to you that year? What adventures did you have? What challenges? What was important to you? What do you want to take from that year? And from that place of reflection, then I move personally into intention, into Sankalpa, where I then am able to look forward and see, well, what do I want to bring into my life this year? At the workshop on Saturday, I was talking again about it as you guys are the heroes or heroines of your own story. And as well, you're also the directors or writers of your story. So I kind of made a joke that you guys are sort of like Clint Eastwood. You get to direct and star in your own movie, right? So last year was one chapter of your story, and now we're flipping the page to the next chapter of your story. And it's always a little bit of drama, right? There's always a little bit of mystery. Hopefully a thriller with some adventures for you in 2016. But important, I think, that we sort of direct or write, like, what do you want to happen to you this year? What would you like for your life to look like or have in it, you know? More love, a little less stress. Those things are important, and we have to set intention around them. So one of the things I love about the word Sankalpa is it says, yes, we set intention, but it also has this other component to it, which is that you make a promise, you make a commitment to that intention. So I asked my students to consider your kosas for this year, the layers of who we are. Understanding the yoga philosophy is I'm more than just Diana Christensen. I'm a body, and I'm energy, and I'm mind, and I'm wisdom, and all these layers make up who I am. So in our work on our yoga mats, we're constantly trying to keep these layers vital and clean and healthy, and also integrate them. So for the new year, I'm going to ask you guys to set 4 intentions. I want you to set one intention around Anandamaya kosha, which is your physical body this year. Some intention, some promise around your health. I want you to set the second intention around Pranamaya kosha, which is your energy. For me, it's more than just waking up with energy rather than waking up all tired. But it's also, for me, about living a life that's passionate, a life that I'm excited about, that has some creativity in it. So when you set your intention around prana, think deeper, think energy, but also think of what makes you excited about waking up in the morning, to set some intention around. And then your third kosha we're studying these last couple weeks is what? Here's the quiz part. Manamaya kosha, so the mind. So for the mind, I always think, whatever's rolling around in my mind, to some extent I've put there. So maybe intention around, like, what are you putting in your mind, or how are you training your mind? We talked about how we each need to train the mind to go to the places we want it to go. I was saying how, what a beautiful compliment for someone to say to me, Diana, you have a beautiful mind. But it's something I have to practice and work on, making this a beautiful place, right? So some intention around, how are you making this a beautiful place? Are you meditating? Are you doing yoga? Are you reading good books? Are you taking walks on the ocean? Are you watching exciting movies? Are you going to hear music that inspires you? All of that for me is part of that part of myself, the mind part of myself, is what I feed myself. Just important what I physically put in my body is what I put in my brain. Then the last one, of course, is Vijnanamaya kosha, Nandamaya kosha. And that one I would say to all of you is sort of your spiritual self. I think it's beautiful for us to set goals and intentions around that part of us that seems hard to even describe. On Saturday, again at the workshop, I encouraged everyone to possibly, this is something I love to do, is choose an archetype or a muse or a deity that would inspire you. So last year, just to give you an example of that, the deity I personally chose was Saraswati. I'm sure T will probably take a picture of her for the YouTube channel, but that was a new statue to our Shala last year that I got. And when the man that came here, Manoj, brought it to us, he described her as being the muse or the deity of art and creativity. And it just spoke to me, and I said, oh, that's something, whether I play an instrument or paint, doesn't matter. I can bring creativity and passion into every aspect of my life. So last year I devoted to her being my muse and my inspiration, and every morning when I did my devotion, I made little offerings of beach glass to her. And every time I made my little offering of beach glass, I said, help me live an inspired life, a creative life. And that was kind of my spiritual goal last year for myself, and I used her as my inspiration. So you guys can choose the same thing, an archetype or a muse or someone that inspires you to think of how you want to grow this year in the deepest part of who you are, the very essence of who you are. And as always, this place, the Shala, is here to support you and your intentions. If any of you would like to put the prayer thread on, I'm happy to tie that on after class when we do Shavasana. You can light a candle to set some intention by using a little ritual around that. And I hope you all journal too, because I think it's one thing to set intention, and it's helpful when we make those promises with our intention to write those down and kind of check in with them.